Previously on Trails Through Daybreak, the party met Yang Cronkite, a stuffy scientist who looks slightly like Professor Hojo. They then took on a quest to run a field test for a well-balanced but eccentric polo core. Unfortunately, Catray ran into trouble in the mine, so the party had to bail him out, only for the bracers to bail all of them out. Finally, Ben and Albus faced off in an RC race based on their favorite car brands. Where would you like to go?
Aerotram, operated by the city of
Science. Institute of Science. Yup. Apparently, Catray's supposed to be able to learn
We're so high up!
This is kinda nice.
It's the kind of thing you'd only find here. Professor Hamilton designed this, right?
Oh, I'm impressed you knew.
Is something wrong?
Not at all. It's just that while I've heard about everything here, seeing the whole world with your own eyes for the first time is without doubt an unparalleled experience.
I know what you mean. I feel the same way after diving into the world of a good book for the first time.
October 23rd, 402. Basel Institute of Science. Here we are, the Basel Institute of Science, the place where much of the Republic's most cutting-edge research gets done. It's situated in such a beautiful location too. The views of the canyon from here are just stunning. Yeah, this area is supposed to be popular with tourists for exactly that reason, though even they need a card right now. This isn't that bad of a spot to sightsee, I guess, but there's no real place to live it up in town. But speaking of tourism, what's that round building over there? I've been wondering this whole time. That's the Astronomy Observatory. That's the place where you can look at the stars, right? That's right, there's a very powerful telescope there that lets you see far more of them than you could with the naked eye. There are many who believe that astronomy is the discipline from which all others draw their roots, even if others disagree. It actually originated in the Central East, if you didn't know. Whoa, really? Pretty sure they were big on stargazing in that fallen empire to the east back in the day too. Yeah, this is turning out to be very educational. Huh. So where would you like to start? I'd be happy to show you around if you want. No, that's fine. We're just gonna wander around for a while and see what we find. If you can tell us where the main facilities and research labs are, that'd be plenty. Well, if you're sure, they're marked on the building's map already, but here you go. Well, I've got my work of my own to take care of, so I'll get going for now. Oh no, all my stuff! If anything comes up, you're always welcome to contact me on my Zypha. Thanks. Oh well, he'll rejoin at some point. Apparently he has this really good barrier skill at level 44. Oh, I was hoping we could stay with him longer. He knows so many cool things. I feel the same way, but it would be difficult. Yeah, he's just gonna get in the way when we start poking our noses around dark places. I doubt we're gonna get any new 4 SPGs here, but here's hoping we can learn more about this abusive professor, wherever they are. Let's get to work. Remember to act casual and not make it obvious what we're here for. Understood. Hey Albus, any luck with that job I gave you? Wait, you're still not done. What were you taking care of some kids, I mean? Sigh. Okay, I guess that's fair. Anyway, I got another job for you. Yeah, I saw somebody looking suspicious on the edge of town. Can you have a look around and see if you find anything? Thanks, give Regina my regards too. Man, hope it'll be alright. Also, I just realized, because we beat him in that race, it's possible he lost BP, and well, we gained SP. Dang it, a zero-sum game, huh? No need to go overboard. It might just be nothing, but better safe than sorry, of course. I'll head back to the guild in about 30. Okay, got it. You can fill me in once you get back. I thought Athena might be here by now, but nope, no sign of her. She's a shy one, is the thing. I was hoping it'd go smoothly since the higher-ups are all on board with it, but evidently not. I guess she's nervous, but really, there's nothing for her to worry about. She just needs to relax. Though she did say she was working on some other project too. Maybe she's just really busy. The net is pretty widespread now, but international calls still have a lot of kinks to work out. It can make meetings a bit difficult. We're working with Verne to make a new comms protocol that maximizes bandwidth and makes those long-distance calls easier. I was hoping Athena would be here by now, but she must be busy with something else. Maybe I should send her a message just in case.
This campus is just as big as I expected.
Let's take a look around. Gotta check out all the spots that kid mentioned.
Welcome to the Basel Institute of Science. Are you here to speak with researchers or students here? We're a bit busier than usual, pardon us. We have a number of students visiting at the moment. But if there's anything I can help you with, please do let me know. The hallway behind me leads to the Special Research Building. That building is off limits, I'm afraid. The Institute conducts confidential research there. If you have any business with the staff inside, the guard there will be happy to help you. Professor Cronkite's feces are like these windows into the future. It's crazy just how smart he is. His foresight really helps him get ahead of the curve and develop new technologies before people even realize they need them. I doubt I'll ever be half the scholar he is, but I really want to learn what I can from him all the same. Dad's factory is a relic of the past. It has nothing to do with me, and I have no reason to cling to it. Gift card?
Indeed.
I wish Dad wasn't so damn stubborn. All I'm saying is that he should be more forward-thinking. But nope, he's always trying to push the factory onto me, trying to tie me down to his old business. Time marches on. If he doesn't get with the times, they'll leave him behind. Oh, hello everyone. I didn't think I'd run into you all here. We just finished touring the Epstein Foundation's ZCF branches here, so now we're taking a brief tour of the Institute. There's really not much we can do, though, since we can't attend any of the lectures here. Being honest, it's rather boring. Boring for you, maybe. You sound like you already know a lot about the stuff here. We're not as encyclopedic as you know. All this Epstein ZCF stuff is brand new to me. She's just full of secrets, isn't she? But hey, we got to see and learn some really cool stuff because of it. Ren says she might have something extra special for us after we're done here too. Might is the key word, mind. I can't make any promises. Something special could be that maybe she had Patter Matter rebuilt? What does she mean by that? Beats me, I'm not too worried about her. Let her do her thing and let us do ours. So how's everything been going on your end, Agnes? If it all gets to be too much, you can join back up with us, okay? Miss Perfect is Miss Popular too, huh? Thanks, Albert, but I'm fine right now, honestly. Well, alright, glad to hear that. Just, I worry sometimes. There's some dangerous stuff out there, so don't go charging into all that, okay? We'll always be here for you. The Epstein Foundation was really something special. We got to hear lots of interesting stories about the ZCF branch too. Ren said that her best friend works there even. She has so many of these connections, it's really mysterious, but hey, I'm not complaining.
Very well.
He did promise me earlier, but I can't guarantee it'll just happen just yet. You never know how plans can change. So I can hardly think of a place in Basel I'm more interested in, so it's worth a shot. Haha, success. That was a super quick reaction there, way quicker than I expected. That bodes well. It means it's even more flammable than I first thought. I've got a winner in my hands. I'm just gonna take a swig of my special juice to recharge, then I'll be right back into action. Morris produces a vial of something from his coat pocket and down with gusto. A mad scientist. Woo, yeah, I can feel my cells supercharging. Hey, what are you looking at? What are you looking at me like that for? Controlled substance? Poof, no worries there. Can't be controlled if it's not for human consumption in the first place. I'm on to something over this, I swear. It's a perfect pick-me-up after my explosion test. It was meant to be, I tell you. Ha! What's Professor Aureli's problem? I asked to stay under her and she dismisses me like, you're just an arsonist in a lab coat. But what's so wrong about that? It's art. What's more beautiful than great balls of fire? Explosion and art, huh? Why does that sound familiar? That's what chemistry boils down to. It's the subtle art of making things go boom. Surely a fellow chemist would understand that. Bah. I think, was it Daedara? It's such a shame the wonders of fungi go unrecognized. I've been trying to secure funding for my research, but to no avail. I swear, my lab is the only one in the entire biochem building that gets so routinely snubbed. What gives? Professor Esmere, Professor Aureli, they're just swimming in grants. But the limitless potential of fungi goes untapped for another day. Woe is me. I just don't understand it. Time and time again, they go unnoticed. Not even Tain has anything nice to say about them. What is this? Some bizarre prejudice? Anti-fungiism? Is there really no one else on this earth who appreciates them like I do? Well, there is an anarchist mouse that might appreciate it in a way. Hello there, and welcome to my kitchen. Everyone loves the food we serve here, or at least I thought they did, but we have had one poorly looking diner recently. He works in the special research building, and he's been eating a lot less lately. He looks terrible. He and his assistants always used to have these voracious appetites too. What happened to them? Sugar is popular among the researchers here. Eggheads need their glucose. We try to give them a healthy dose without going too overboard. We've been getting a lot of tired-looking visitors lately too, so we're trying to make them comfortable, easy to digest dishes for them.
What'll it be for today?
Hearty Doria, expensive as hell.
Thanks a bunch.
The store here leads to a special research building. They do a lot of top secret research in there, so it's close to the general public. Seems this building requires a higher security clearance than the rest of the city. Top secret, huh? Sounds like a perfect place to harass your coworkers and get away with it. Wouldn't jump to conclusions, but yeah, it's worth looking into. Let's ask around and see what the people around here know. I worry for her, I really do, but I just don't have the time to check up on her. Next time I see her, I think I'll recommend her these vitamins I like. I was on the advisory board for them, actually. I do worry about how she's the only woman on their team. I don't want her to feel afraid to speak her mind on things. Network engineering is my forte, but I do a lot of work with the civil engineering guys too. Earthquake resistance, grid planning, that sort of thing. Professor Callaghan in particular, he's been a big help to me. He's been awfully irritable lately, but he's a good person deep down. Maybe he just needs a drink or two to unwind. The orbital network is essential infrastructure now, and the cities need to be designed around it. Network and signal needs to reach every nook and cranny of the city, so that's lots of cables, lots of antennas, lots of planning. The computer science students here have been a big help with modernizing the grid. Professor Callaghan's kind of freaking me out nowadays. All the other professor says he's a really nice guy, though. They can talk about how he used to help mentor younger researchers at the Institute. Are they really talking about the same guy, though? All I get from him are evil glares, like he's fed up with me already. Yeesh. Seeing those wide-eyed Aramis students visiting brings back memories. I came to visit when I was younger, just like them. Crazy how young they look. I'm only 2 or 3 years older than them. I wonder if I look that young when I visited too. Their uniforms are really cute. Maybe that's what it is. Wait, am I ogling them? No. Bad pots, bad pots. One of my papers was published in a scientific journal Formula last month. It was about a hypothetical social experiment where you gather big data from personal computers and use data science to crunch the numbers. I'm honored that the scientific community received it so well. Even Professor Callaghan gave it a thumbs up. I still want to explore that concept some more, though. I really want to use one of the giant orbital calculators they have in the labs here. I just can't. That really grinds my gears. I want to put my paper to practice with some simulations, but consumer-grade computers just don't have the power for it. I tried making a super optimized program for the number crunching I need, but that still wasn't enough. I need something bigger. I really wish I could use the lab facilities here, but they don't open those up to freshmen. I have to wait for those. I'm just starting to get my hands on one of those huge orbital calculators already. Oh man, the Epstein tour was out of this world. I gotta see some finished memory quartz in there. How far we've come, huh? I didn't know those photos and videos were first developed for the astronomy. But soon enough, it branched out into other things, and that led to orbital films as we know them today. It's just so cool to see how the medium took off. And I'm glad to hear you're having fun. You bet. I know you're busy with work and all, but you should see the sights yourself, Agnes.
Okay.
I heard the Institute has the largest astral observatory in all of Calvard. I really want to go and see that now, but will we even be allowed inside, though? I've heard much about the Institute of Science, and I must say, it does live up to its reputation. It's the highest seat of learning in Calvard, after all. You have many of the country's brightest minds all under one roof. We won't be able to see the entire thing in one trip, but I hope I can at least catch the highlights while we're here. Yo, Julian, did you get a look at that researcher who just walked by? She was a total knockout. She had a sciencey look to her with the glasses and messed up hair. It's not just me dreaming, is it? We gotta be a match. Oh, sorry, I have no idea what you're on about. Is she more beautiful than the Aerotramps attendant you were flying over half an hour ago? Dude, everybody here is a 10. There's something about this town, I swear. It's awakening something in me. Oh, Lyle, make it quite all your head. I always assumed this institute was full of dudes. I didn't know there'd be so many chicks here, too. And man, some of them are bombshells. Alright, that solves it. I'm playing this place. If you need anything from me, I'll just be reading here. We do have plenty of papers here, though I don't know enough about them to make any recommendations. Do handle them with care, though. They're very important papers. Sounds like plenty of students and faculty come his way. That tracks. Maybe he's overheard a word or two about the allegations.
Let me ask you something.
Power tripping professor, you say? Well, if it were anybody, I'd put my money on Cronkite. He's awfully quick to dismiss people, haughty in a word. Kind and helpful aren't exactly synonymous with him, at least from what I've seen and heard. I see. Have you heard anything about any of the other professors that might relate to these allegations? Let me think now. Well, I can't see Professor Aureli doing anything like that. She's just a bundle of sunshine, not a mean bone in her body. Sometimes I even see her here picking up research materials for her students. Then there's Professor Callaghan. He's always made a point of helping out his assistants. He's certainly not a bad person in my view, but he's gotten a bit of a bad rap after his work went south. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. We greatly appreciate it. I remember seeing you at the Orbital Cafe in Edith. I live over here in Basel. I didn't expect to see you here too. My family lives over in the capital, so I'm out here a lot, both to visit them and to do my civil engineering research. I'll be cooped up here for a while though. I've got a big paper to finish up. She's a student here, huh? We should try talking to her.
Can we talk?
A professor abusing her authority, you say? That's a bit of a stretch to me, not gonna lie. I can say for certain that Professor Cronkite and Professor Tane would never do that. It can't be them. What makes you so sure of that? Well, so Professor Cronkite's a man of few words, so he can come across as scary. But he means well, really. I mean, he's one of the greatest minds of our time. He lives and breathes science. And then Professor Tane is just really friendly to everybody. He's always looking out for people. He's known the world over for his work in civil engineering and urban planning. The Basel Institute of Science certainly earns its reputation. Its faculty are all accomplished scientists and engineers in their own right. Yep, lots of famous people come to study and lecture here. Professor Callaghan's a real celebrity too. He's a real whiz when it comes to mechanical engineering. He's the brain behind the military's new weapons. Last I heard though, his new big proposal got shot down in favor of someone else's. He didn't really take that very well. But he's bounced back from what I can tell. He's really putting his all into his new project. I'm really humbled to get to work with so many hardworking and talented people. Hardworking and talented people can still be assholes. Are they good people is what we're asking. Maybe I've phrased that a little less aggressively. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. You're a big help. I work as an assistant in Professor Archet's lab over there. I know some troubling things coming out of our lab, so this one woman, she looked absolutely drained every day. I wish there was something I could do to help her, but I really shouldn't go biting into other lab's business. I just hope she has someone she can talk to, be it a coworker, a professor, or someone else. That's a bit fishy there. Might have to ask him about that.
Let me ask you something.
Workplace harassment, goodness. I've heard these bits and pieces, but I'm a bit nervous to talk about it. We won't tell anyone, don't worry, anything helps. I've heard loud shouting from one of the other labs, yes, it stunned me out of the work I was doing. I heard stuff like, you idiots, can you do anything right? And you're a disgrace to the institute, get out. He's just lashing out at everything and everyone now, it's really disturbing. Which professor was the one doing that? Or I just can't say it, sorry, if they found out it was me, I'd have hell to pay. It's really gnawing at me, the abuse is only getting worse and worse from what I'm told. I've heard it works, fatigue, depression, exhaustion, even a couple of researchers staying on the job. The whole department looks visibly shaken these days, the stress is just too much for them. I worry they'll all end up like Cindy. Cindy, what happened to her? She's at her breaking point from what I hear. I hardly see her at the institute anymore. We've all been trying to support her however we can. But it's rough, it really is. Damn. Yeah, that's not good. Who's the professor helping her out of curiosity? That would be Professor Esmeralda. She's in the bioengineering department. She's known the world over for cutting-edge research, a real upstanding woman. She's always been up to her neck in her own work, though. She probably doesn't know the extent of the abuse of the other labs. Yeah, thanks for filling us in. This still helps us a lot. Alright, I think we've come this area over pretty well now. Let's go sit down somewhere and try piecing things together. I recommend that open space at the front of the institute grounds. I saw some benches there that we could use. Sounds like a plan to me. Alright, we're about ready to sit down and get cracking. Well, that was pretty good. We got our hands on some nice info there. We learned a lot of professors' names too. There's Professor Callaghan, the Engineering Science Authority, Professor O'Reilly in the Chemistry Department, Professor Cronkite, a well-respected expert in physics and orbital engineering, and Professor Tane, an architectural researcher. And then one Professor Esmeralda over in bio. They all sounded really capable, of course, but the stats sheets don't tell the whole story. They all sound like oddballs in their own right. I think we can pretty safely narrow the perp down to one of those 5. I agree, we have plenty of strong evidence to suggest that. Alright, let's take our evidence from the top then. All the people we talked to, all testimonies, they all had this one thing in common. Oh, I see what you mean. Tried to downplay abuse. They had been threatened by the abuser. They didn't name the abuser. Not a single one named the culprits. Some of those guys knew who it was, but it kept sounding like they were too scared to name him. Would have made our job a hell lot easier if they just named the guy, but nope. Yeah, now you mention it, that is kind of weird. I can understand not wanting to be labeled a snitch, but it felt like there was more to it than that. They were afraid of the culprit, but you could tell they respected them too. They didn't want to sully this professor's good name. And some people said the guy wasn't always like that. Something changed them. Probably a conflict over that proposal we heard about. Something about hard feelings. That one guy said they had to crunch after the proposal fell through. Telltale sign of abuse to me. That does seem likely, though we can't say for certain what changed the professor's behavior. That would be a reasonable explanation. That said, no circumstance justifies such an abuse of power and status. This professor is truly incorrigible. So that's who you think the culprit is. Yeah, you asked me, there's only one professor who fits the bill. It's the first choice, huh? Professor Callaghan's our guy. He's one of the foremost authorities on engineering science, perhaps the smartest man in the whole field. I've seen him in the papers plenty of times before. He's always described as a savant. Notably, he helped modernize the military's weapons and equipment. But he's got revenge on the mind, sounds like. Some other professor went up to him, and that got him pissed. I guess it sucks, but you think a world-renowned scientist would be less childish about it. You know a thing or two about acting like a child, wouldn't you? I don't know, you usually call me grandpa. Which is it, bud? Is now a time? So what do we do now? We have all recordings of the people we talked to. That all points to Professor Callaghan being the suspect. So what's our next move? It's not hard enough evidence. Do we hunt down our client next and give him the tapes? No, I'm thinking we get Professor Callaghan's opinion on it without accusing him directly. We nudge him in the right direction and he might just turn himself in. What do you mean? Simple, we tell him about these abuse rumors going around, we talk about all these exhausted students, and he connects the dots on his own. Failing that, we already know it's him. He's bound to figure out his reputation on the line, and the more he hears about it, the more he hears about this. If he's smart, he'll fess up. So that's what we do. We give him a subtle little nudge, and he does all the work Elstein wanted for us. 2 birds with 1 stone right there. That sounds really scheming. I'm not so sure we're the good guys all of a sudden. Well, it's a quintessentially spriggan-like way of solving our problem. Find with me to the Power Tripper's lab then. Actually, where is it? I don't remember seeing it while we were taking our tour. Probably in the restricted area. I suspect it's in a special research building. We'll need some form of clearance to enter, of course. We passed by a door with a guard in front earlier. They won't let any ordinary civilian inside. I suspect we would need an A rank card at the very least. It was hard enough for us to get a C rank card. I think getting A rank is an A rank one is off the table. What should we do then? Maybe wait for him to leave the building and ambush him? Now, old Van's the man with a plan. All that matters is that we get inside the building. It doesn't matter how we do it. And being a spriggan, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Van, you're kind of scaring me with that smile there. We defer to you. What's your strategy, Master Spriggan? So first we just roll on up to the building like anybody else would. Once we get there, we convince the guard to let us in. Just act naturally and we're golden. Excuse me, is this where we can find Professor Callaghan? We're here to speak with him. Right, yes. May I see your card, sir? Of course. Van handed over his certification card. C rank, I'm sorry, I can't let you in without proper security clearance. If you don't mind me asking, what business do you have with him to begin with? Glad you asked. We're here on behalf of the Principality of Alsheim. We figured there was an appointment for us, but we just now found out they didn't set anything up. Sorry for the inconvenience. We wanted to inquire about Professor Callaghan's new research, a color of investors' interest. His findings have seismic implications. Even the Zypher revolution would be small potatoes compared to this. So we're looking at a meeting with him and collaborating on his research. Only to learn that Marduk was interested in the same thing, so now we've got ourselves a freeway partnership here. Wait, but there's a Marduk person standing right next to you! Yup, I'm here on the Marduk company's behalf. I'm a concierge and their employee. So you're meeting with him to discuss a grant, is that right? I guess technically, since you do have a Marduk clothes on, it's more convincing, huh? I'm a bit surprised to hear both Alsheim and Marduk are collaborating on this, but well, stranger things have happened, I guess. I apologize for the inconvenience. That said, who are these children of you? Surely you're not employees. Pardon? I'm not a kid, I'm just short. They're just associates of an Alsheim VIP. Pardon them. Technically true. They're on here on Alsheim's behalf as well, so they were looking to sit in on our meeting. There's a few omissions here and there, but we're mostly telling the truth, huh? This is a little awkward though. We came all the way from Alsheim just to get turned away at the door on a technicality. I'm not sure what to tell them when we get back home. I really am sorry. There's clearly been some kind of mix-up here. Your arrangement may have been lost in the shuffle with all the Aramis students visiting. You must have been issued the same rank card as some by mistake. I'll go clear this up with Professor Callaghan. 1 minute, please. Of course, we'll be waiting. I'm sure you're okay with him calling your bluff. Of course, who'll see to turn down grant money? That ain't what we're really here for, but he just has to take the bait. Half troops and lies, huh? Thanks for your patience. The professor would like to meet with you at once. Go right in. Thank you very much. Can't believe you managed to deceive your way past someone again. Hey, nothing I said was a lie. Not my fault if someone else takes what I said the wrong way. Bet you tell yourself that every single time, huh? Yeah, you must be a real pro at this. I mean, it's not something to be proud of. As your sudden embarrassment suggests. I wish you would at least stop and think about the bad influence you might have on Fairy.
So you're trying to blame all of this on me, are you?
Not at all. I'm in no way trying to suggest your latest research is the cause. If anything, the approach you're taking with your latest project rather fascinates me.
Does it now?
That being said, work on my own project has reached a critical juncture. I cannot afford any issues with net traffic at this time.
That certainly sounds like blame to me, Cronkite. You may be one of Professor Hamilton's students, but that doesn't give you the right to...
So sorry for the delay. Oh? Oh no, if Cronkite's here, won't he just call our bluff? Who the devil are you? This is a restricted area, you know? Not to worry, we have permission to be here. Could either of you direct us to Professor David Callaghan's office? Oh, so you're the ones I just heard about. We're finished here, Cronkite. Now, if you would all follow me. Yang, or Professor Cronkite and Callaghan. How funny running you guys here. Oh, this is awkward. Oh no. Whoops, we could say the same thing. Mr. Arkride, do you have business here? Hatre, what are you doing here, Salesian? And who are these people with you? There are students here on an educational visitation from the capital. I've been assisting them during their stay. Professor Callaghan was gracious enough to extend us an invitation to visit him when we happen to see each other in town. So we asked Mr. Callaghan if we could lead the way. I do not believe I invited anyone but you, nor did I imply we should meet quite as soon. But I suppose chasing you away here would be more work than just humoring you. Very well. Follow me. Really? It would be nothing short of incredible to see your work up close, Professor Callaghan. Well, we'll get over here now. We apologize for the interruption. I can see that you're very busy, but it would be a pleasure to speak more on another occasion, Professor Callaghan. Oh, I suppose that can be arranged. It must be nice to having enough free time to spend on such frivolous nonsense as educational visitations. Well, come with me. I want to make this brief. Of course, Professor.
Wait!
Oh no. Don't blow our cover.
I'd like to listen in on this conversation too, if you don't mind. As their guide, I suspect it has everything to do with me.
Take a 10-minute break. Do not return late.
Yes, Professor. Excuse us. Then again, he probably knows all about it too. Maybe he'll help us.
As you know, my name is David Callaghan. I believe you're here to talk about Elsyme and Marduk investing in my research. That makes for a very interesting combination, if you don't mind me saying. What exactly led to this?
Is that what you were told? There seems to have been a misunderstanding then. We are currently working for Elsyme, and we do have a Marduk employee with us, but that's all. What? We're currently in the middle of an investigation, you see, and the lead happened to bring us here. Wanted to follow up on the rumor that some extreme abuse of power has been taking place in the laboratory here. Yeah, that's the face of a guy who got something to tell. Who asked you to investigate this? Couldn't tell you, didn't leave their name, but they did tell us a lot, all about what's been happening. We've heard all about the ridiculous workloads and insane hours they and their colleagues have been forced to endure. About how they're never allowed any rest, or woefully underpaid, and how they receive vicious, constant verbal abuse from their superior. Even to the point that someone collapsed from overwork and has been driven to the brink of suicide. That's just... We have all the testimony and evidence we need to act. That's what it comes to. But we thought we'd better come and hear your thoughts first. Excuse me? It's not too late to turn things around. So many people we spoke to were quick to say that you weren't always like this. They mentioned how they almost had trouble believing what you'd become, and just what you could become. We can see how afraid people are of you now, and how they dislike what you've become. But at the same time, we can see how deeply they respect you too. We're not heroes of justice like the cops or the guild. We're just about finding common ground and putting things to right. As long as you're willing to work with us, we can... That is enough! Don't talk to me about respect and then immediately resort to blackmail. I cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I give them a golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination, and this is how they choose to repay me. How can you say that? Is it glowing? You know we've got evidence of what you're doing, right? You sure you want to pick this fight? Do what you will with your evidence. All I have to do is cover it up. No one's going to believe some lowly assistants over an esteemed professor. Professor. I am 2 mere steps away from completing my research, and they pick now to sabotage my efforts. Very well. Then damn the human costs. I'll start working them to the bone to make up for their...
Just listen to yourself, Professor!
Probably being recorded on the Zypha phones.
What has gotten into you? You used to be so kind and supportive. Professor Hamilton held you in such high regard. Even though I was one of her students, you would still take the time to look after me. I just can't understand why all you do lately is spit in the face of her achievements.
Cutthroat. I suspected as much. You knew all along, of course.
Sorry.
We saw you in the cutscene.
That's a private matter between us. But please, at least stop and think about how you're treating the people who work under you. They took their positions because they dreamed of being like you. Don't belittle them or their work.
Salesian. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, you third-rate apprentice!
Cutthroat! What do you think you're doing? Listen, asshole.
You're talking to the famous David Callaghan, the preeminent scholar of engineering science and military technology, who has long upheld the very foundation of this nation's national defense. I've had enough of youngsters like Cronkite and Esmeralda acting like they're above me after all I've achieved. My latest research will propel Calvard to even greater heights, change the power balance of the entire continent. Why can no one understand just how much of a privilege it is to help with that?
Professor!
Well, you're free to have whatever lofty goals you want. But I think we've hired 10 minutes, don't you? Oh. And this is all being recorded on the phone, so you're kind of fucked. We came here to explain the situation and offer a solution we thought would benefit everyone. You're welcome to try and cover up all the evidence and testimonies we gathered, but I promise you, it ain't gonna be easy. If you're as close to this revolution as you claim to be, then I'd give another thinking through if I were you. But I'm done wasting time with you. I will be raising the issue of your illegal trespassing and appalling brazenness with Mr. Towson. I admit I may have been a little too harsh. But as long as you intend to cling to Professor Hamilton instead of aiming for something more, I have no interest in you. Unless you now see the benefits of developing your talents under me, after all. I would wager that would be a far better use of your time than waiting like a little girl for an old woman who's long gone. Excuse me. Cutthroat. Pardon us.
Like a little girl.
There you are.
So this is what it looks like inside, huh?
It's so cool seeing the observatory! Is that the telescope?
That's right. Professor Hamilton had it specially made.
I'm sorry you had to witness that earlier, but I'm impressed you knew where to find me. Just had a feeling. We're happy to forget what we saw as long as you forget about us forcing our way into the research building. Van, behave. Huh. You can go ahead and have a seat over there. I'll go make us some tea. So there aren't actually any astronomy professors here. Not at the moment. I'm the only one who comes here every day right now. But there was a time when quite a few researchers and students who all adored Professor Hamilton who would come. Even Professor Callaghan would from time to time. Oh. He never used to be like he is now. He's always seen Professor Hamilton as a rival, sure. But it used to be the friendly kind of rivalry that was beneficial to both sides. He taught me so much too. He really must have changed then. Yeah, from that to the uptight, abusive asshole we saw earlier as some kind of fall. Professor Hamilton left the Republic 2 years ago, if I recall. And you're one of her students. That's right, I owe more to her than I can even ever hope to repay. I've been looking after her observatory in her house since she left the country. Though I think it's debatable where I'm doing a good job of it. The CEO of her name, Mr. Towson, is also one of the directors on the Institute's board. And he told me that he's considering shutting this place down because so few people are using it. Oh no. So that's why he's been doing all kinds of miscellaneous tasks to score points with him. That's awful. I really am sorry about earlier though. I ended up interfering in your investigation by jumping in, didn't I? If I hadn't said anything... Don't sweat it, we ended up getting some useful info out of that whole outburst. I guess you've noticed this by now too. But his piss-poor attitude isn't the only bad thing going on with him. Stealing bandwidth. You really think so? I have the same feeling. It would explain why someone so respected as stupid to such irrational behavior. Feels like the question is, what's he trying to do that he's willing to go so far off the deep end for it? The computer hardware in his laboratory was a state-of-the-art. I suspect he's using it to perform vast calculations. The kind that would be equally difficult to properly manage. I agree. I've never seen a simulation of this extent before, and it seemed even that wasn't getting the results he wanted. He couldn't be, no, but that would... I see now. Well, we'd better keep an eye on that guy for a while. We ain't in Basel for that long, but we're gonna be here for the next couple of days at least. Feels like we can afford to scratch each other's backs a bit, yeah? Whether the CEO wants us to or not. Alright, I do have my doubts about you, but I believe Agnes is worthy of my trust. So if anything comes up, I'll be sure to let you know, to keep what the professor left behind safe, if nothing else. So nothing comes from not being honest with yourself, you know? Heh, we'll be counting you, Catre. Sure seems like he's being honest with himself to me. Not trusting you is the right call. Oh, you're very much in the same boat with how boorish you are. Excuse me, you trying to pick a fight, kiddo? That's only proving my point, you know? Haha. Are you interested in the telescope? I was wondering what it's like, it's all. It's only just past 5 o'clock, so we won't be getting a great view of the stars quite yet. But come with me, you still might be able to get a good view of the Great Scalar Triangle. Really? Yay. Aw, of course the 2 kids of the group would hit it off. You're also still a damn kid from my perspective. By the way, Agnes, was it just me or did you seem surprised by something when the professor was shouting up a storm? The Genesis, right? It wasn't just you. I cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I give them a golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination. This is how they choose to repay me. So picked then of all times to shine. It's not doing it now though. Do you think it could just be a coincidence? You gotta wonder. Not like it'd be the first time it's shown at an odd time, like when we first ran the Grimcat.
Whoa! What's this room for?
Odette? What brings you all here?
Found you! We've been looking for all of you.
We couldn't find you anywhere in the main building, so we wondered if you might be here.
Sorry for putting you guys out.
Well, not all of us are here for you.
So this is their giant telescope. I've seen one in the Imperial Museum too, but it's so cool.
Oh, can we take a look through it?
It's nice seeing this place this lively again. It's been so long.
What's on your mind? Well, we'll be going back to our hotel now. Sure thing, trying to stay up too late just because no one's keeping an eye on you. That telescope was amazing though, wasn't it? I wish we could have had another look through it before we left. How about you come and walk around with us some on the last day, Fairy? We'd love to have you. Really? Your work sounds amazing, so I like that a lot. I'll just leave playtime to the kids then. I'm more in the market for a place to cater to adults. Hell, you want to join in on the fun, Four Eyes? I would never want to go to such a place. That sounds like it'd be kind of fun in its own way. It was nice to finally meet the famous Rosette too. Maybe we could talk to some more in our... Oh yes, I like that very much indeed. Yay, and it's happening. Did you notice? Yeah, you managed to learn anything on your end? I'm afraid not. We heard something interesting from the genius professor, but that's not about it. I'm not going to have much free time here, however, so I'm going to have to leave it to that nose of yours this time. Dumping all the work on me, huh? Great. Oh, here's the tram. Then we bid you farewell. I should be able to meet you tomorrow morning at around 8 o'clock. I know it's a little early for good night, so I hope you all have one regardless. Same to you. See you tomorrow. Sleep tight. So what's eating away at you, funny maid?
Huh?
Am I summing up? Can't hide a thing from him.
I should have realized I wouldn't be able to keep my concerns a secret. To tell you the truth, I'm getting a peculiar sense of déjà vu from what's happening here in Basel.
Déjà vu? Your main job is being a concierge, but you also handle crisis management all over the country, right? So which does this orbital net and distribution network issue make you think more of? Liberal 6 years ago or Crossbell 4 years ago?
You're proving perceptive and knowledgeable beyond belief.
I'm sure I've heard both of those things before, but yeah, I think Sal's mentioned them at some point too. The former was when all orbital power was shut off by the appearance of an ancient floating city. The latter was when the orbital network was used to perform a man-made miracle. I never witnessed them firsthand, so there's a lot of gaps in what I know. But both were caused by things you wouldn't think could exist. Man, I think you made both events up if I didn't know better. I know what happened a year and a half ago in Crossbell, and that's just as batshit crazy on paper. Oh, and the whole continent was hacked or whatever the word is.
I'm afraid I can't answer most of your questions because they would contain classified information. However, I believe this may end with a crisis different from the ones that Mr. Arkride mentioned.
Huh? Well, Miss Perfect's Genesis started glowing again. There's bound to be something. No way to sense it without giving us a headache. Yeah, we're gonna need to be ready for trouble. We gotta head out somewhere now, right? I'll come with you if you want.
Again, you are perceptive beyond belief.
We may have only met in person recently, but I've known you for a real long time now. Whenever you summon a major problem brewing, you gotta report to HQ, right?
Correct. What is happening here certainly falls under Code E of our regulations. But I see no harm in having someone with me during my report. We could also patrol the area at the same time. Does that sound all right?
More than all right. Let's get going. Wait, it's not just you two here, you know. Don't even think of leaving us out. I don't mind taking one of you, but the others gonna have to stay behind. Someone will need to be available if Agnes or that boy we met decide to call. Right, that makes sense. Fine, then come on. Who are you taking? Select one additional member to accompany Van Reset. They can be swapped out later using the computer in the hotel room. I've already been with Fairy Less. I'll bring Aaron this time. So where do we have to go to even give this report? Your company's HQ is so far away. What if thought you'd just call them? There's a bit of a process involved for security reasons. For starters, we need to leave the city toward the canyon. This need to take priority over any other work you would like to do, however. I see now. Got it. We'll head over once we've walked around a little then. We've been having some power issues lately, so my boss told me to look into it. I thought it might be a problem with the wiring here at the shop, but nope, everything looks fine on our end. It's really stumping me. What's going on? Professor Hamilton is an inspiration to us all, but it's kind of strange. She doesn't feel distant or unapproachable at all. She's kind and cheerful, despite her stature. Even the more crotchety artisans can't help but respect her. I just worry about her sometimes. She's very determined, very headstrong, and that does sometimes put her at odds with others. Young Catre looks up to her an awful lot. He may very well grow up to be just like her. Long day. I've had my son in my mind. I want to talk to him when I get home, but what do I even say? He's studying over at the Institute of Science these days, but we couldn't disagree more on engineering. He's big on innovating, finding the new big thing, but me, I'm the more traditional guy. I take pride in the family I've inherited. I'm not trying to pressure him into taking over the shop, but I think he's hearing me that way. It's a puzzle, I tell ya. I'm really glad I was able to help out Dad today. I want to start pulling my own weight. I used to just do grocery runs when people would need it, but now they're busier than ever. They really appreciate it now. They really look busy today, too. Oh, maybe I should try making them lunch someday. I think they'd like that. I thought you'd call it for a day. Hard workers you lot are, huh? Just between you and me, keep an eye on Catre, will ya? He shouldn't have to take on all that responsibility at his age, if you ask me. It's like he never got to be a kid. Seeing him all stressed out and overworked just makes me sad, as an old geezer with none of that youth left. What's Catre crunching for? He shouldn't have to stay so late at the Institute. I guess it's important to him. He wants to follow in the professor's footsteps with all his research there. Just sigh. I hate making the kids wait, but this deadline is non-negotiable. Speaking of kids, I hear Milia was up to something earlier today. Most of the time she's a model daughter. She helps me with the shopping, the cooking, and the cleaning. But every now and then I hear just the strangest things about what she's up to. I can't deny it worries me sometimes. Careful up there, Real. I really want to see the machines from up there too, but everyone says it's too dangerous, so I gotta wait. When I'm older, I'm gonna work here like Real does. Then I can see all the cool stuff I want. Whew, I think we're almost done for a day. I hate making Nat wait like this. I really am glad I started working here, though. I remember being scared half to death over how I handle the pressure. It's been really tough work for sure. But it's so rewarding, and I can feel myself getting better day by day. Plus, I've made friends with Catre and so many others. So this way at least sounds in mind, does it? That would make an excellent backdrop for a game, but now it's probably too dangerous down there. And where are you up to, Aramis? Aramis place to be hanging around. Oh, you came. Thank you so much for helping me out again. How do you mean? Oh, you're a puzzle game guy, aren't you? What are you doing out here in Basil this late at night? My request. You're not here for it, then. You had it. Oh, sorry, never even noticed. That's on me for not checking properly. Don't worry about it, huh? I'm working on a new mystery game right now, and I thought a nice dark setting like this would be perfect for it. I'm recruiting testers right now, actually. I put a request out to you in the hopes you'd be able to help out again. I'd really appreciate if you could lend me a hand. If you like, I can explain it to you and we can go from there. Works for me. I work with a really bright friend of mine on this concept, so if I can iron out the kinks, I'm sure it'll be a hit. You'll solve a series of puzzles, all while using these special gimmicks that fit Basil hand and glove. Yeah, what kind of gimmicks are we talking? Well, it would spoil the fun if I just told you. Here, have the leaflet. Let me see here. Urgent message from HQ. Catch the rogue hacker on loose in Basil. HQ will track the target's movements and relay them to you ASAP. All transmissions will be sent in code to avoid leaking information. Decode messages and apprehend the hacker. Secret agents, huh? Alright, I'll bite. And decoding our messages forms the puzzle aspect of the game. Exactly, sounds fun, right? I think we really knocked it out of the park with this one. So what do you think? Interested in giving a shot? Sure, we got our work taken care of. Why not? Awesome, I was hoping you'd be up for it. Let me put your names down under the tester group real quick. There's another tester working for the game right now. See if you can solve the puzzle before they do. Oh, is it timed? I see, I didn't realize we weren't the only testers at the moment. Yeah, I'm sending applications all over the place. My other tester started just a few minutes ago. I've got a special reward for whoever beats the game first, so good luck. And the hunt is on now, isn't it? Well, good luck. I'll be watching from the sidelines to make sure everything's running smoothly. And there he goes. So now what? We don't even have our first message yet. This is true. He did say HQ sent us a message, but, how? HQ is spriggan. We found traces of the hacker in the Artisanal District. Investigate the suited triad. Whoa, I don't recognize this address at all. I think it really is him. The first riddle should be easy to solve, I imagine. It's like a warm-up. Makes sense. Let's get cracking then. Well, if there ever were a suited triad, this be it. Not the easiest first riddle in the world, but there's chimneys everywhere around here. Indeed, it does make sense for a district this industrious. And it looks like we're not the first to make it this far either. Tish, I walked around this damn place for ages and it was right here this whole time. Oh, looks like I threw the air tester for a loop. So we can play catch up. Oh, here's the next set of instructions. It's almost like he's watching us. Normally would assume the same, but I imagine at least one of us would have noticed some if they were tracking us by hand. I think we're receiving these messages automatically based on our Zypher location data. That might be giving him too much credit, no offense to him. No, I think this is the work of his helper, must be a network expert. Got a lot to think about once this is done, but that can wait. Let's look at this next message real quick. HQ is spriggan. The hacker's long gone from this area, unfortunately. What if that student was the hacker? We've picked up another trail elsewhere in the Artisanal District, though. Investigate the bat's roost. Yeah, go fig. Of course there's more to it than that. And talk about cryptic. This hell's a bat, all caps. Ordinarily, I would assume a mammal, but given how it's written, I imagine it's alluding to something else. And at any rate, we didn't encounter any bats in the mine, if memory serves. Those letters do ring a bell. Where have we seen them before? But I got nothing. The roost part makes me think there's some place they all come back to, where they're normally out and about. Keep your eyes peeled for anything that fits that description. This one sounds more specific. The Aerotram?
Institute of Science.
Well, this is the Aerotram station, and I think we've struck gold here. Right, that does make sense. BAT is an acronym for the Basil Aerotram. Alright, yeah, that makes sense that this is the roost. They all stop here. And boom, there's the next message. HQ is spriggan. The hackers made their way toward Newtown. Board the tram and pursue them. Straightforward enough, this one. Yeah, let's hop on. This does offer an exceptional view, especially at night. Oh, I see a familiar face took the tram just before we did. Let's see here. Well, but ain't the Aramis kid we bumped into earlier? He's been a step ahead the whole way from the looks of it. Well, I'm not about to let some snot-nosed runt like him outwit me. Let's get moving. Man, remember when I was all held up about being people to punch like that? You, huh? I think of a zing, but you make fun of yourself well enough as is. Huh. It looks like they've already made their move. Looks like it. So now what? HQ is spriggan. We found new traces of the hacker. Disregard a kitty for now. Your target is Z-Cat number 1. Discard that. Oh, that's what it is. It might help to write it on paper. This one would have been too much for the small fry's brain. How cruel. I got a pretty good idea of where the objective is. I can see it on that sign over there. Let's head on over and take a look. A cat, huh? Oh, but what do cats have to do with the orbital net? Oh, her. And here we are. Z cat number 1 minus a cat. A Z1 race car. So you just cut the cat, huh? Almost too easy. Our next message should be arriving shortly. Yep, stay sharp, gang. Well, that was anticlimactic. Let's see here. Yo, you in the game too? Yeah, I guess so. Didn't know there were people doing this. HQ Spriggan, the hacker got away. But their tracks are fresh. They should still be nearby. Head for coordinate marker WXBC. Well, what the hell is this? Doesn't make a lick of sense. But I really don't want to lose these guys. Gotta think this one over. Well, I'm heading out. Catch you later. Have fun. Best of luck out there. Puzzling time. Let's start with the easiest stuff first. I suspect we need to fill in the square marks with letters. Once we complete the sequence, the phrase will come together. Yeah, once we have the full phrase, the rest is a cakewalk from there. Let's follow the code and see what we find. So first floor is Rene Arms, second floor is Rene Store. And the building itself is Rene Plaza. Rene's Arms, or VA, that lines up with the code. It's not too hard if you know your way around. We made good time on this puzzle from the looks of it. Oh, we look at that, another message. Yes, from the engineer, a pair of ZCF goggles will spell your way. ZCF goggles can be found in the Verne store, if memory serves. We heard about them earlier, didn't we? Yes, ZCF is the Liberal Kingdom's principal engineering company. They were notable for building the first orbital airships. Now we got Liberal leading goods in the picture. That really makes me think it's her. Anyhow, let's go get those goggles. So Ren's the client. Hey, a quick question. Do you guys stock ZCF goggles? We sure do. Here's a pair for ya. We're getting it for free? This will spell your way, the riddle said. It's a ring on them. I don't see anything on the frame. Oh, the lens, perhaps. Bingo, check this shit. Await the arrow tram. The bench will beckon. Guess we gotta just follow the breadcrumbs now. The arrow tram is just up the stairs. Let us make haste. VA. They don't mean Rene Arms today. Who else could it be? I hate this puzzle shit. I don't get these riddles at all. It looks like we're a step ahead this time. Let's hurry. We can't let the kid show us up. Roger. Wait, I can actually talk to him while he's here. While he's doing the riddle. When the engineer a pair of ZCF goggles will swallow your way. What do ZCF goggles have to do with anything? I hate stupid scavenger hunts like these. Well, make the Student Council Press. Figured you had a hand in this.
You caught me. Good evening, Spriggan.
So little Miss Violet was behind it all, huh? Feels oddly appropriate. I'm flattered to hear that from Longport's own little prodigy. So how'd you get roped into all this? Well, I happen to know a game master for the net, you see. He'd been putting out all these fascinating riddles online. I figured I might as well reach out to him. We got in touch and eventually came up with the idea of this game. And what better saying for a cyber-themed story than Basel? I even got to try this new map API that I've been tinkering with. Mail API. I learned quite a bit from this little exercise. Do you just know everyone ever? Jeez. I did learn about your hacking exploits as Kitty through MK's database. Of course, Sven also knows his own people, huh? But I didn't realize your talents spanned far more than just security. Thank you. I still have much to learn, of course. Took him long enough. Must have fell behind somewhere. I was wondering why you were here. This was just an excuse to work with that Percy guy, wasn't it? So this is all just stupid. The council president broke our own curfew for his shit. Well, don't single me out, you meanie. I just so happened to hear from someone about a bored-looking Aramis student wandering around the city past curfew. Imagine my shock upon learning it was none other than you. So James, do you have fun being a naughty little boy? Barely fell a thing. All that effort for a dud of a game. Oh, cause when I heard you racking your brain a bit at some of those riddles there. Okay, fine. They did make me think a little. Kinda. That's excellent news. I'm sure I'll be happy to hear it. Wait, so do you really make that auto-send API thing for the emails? Like, you made that from scratch? How the hell are you even real? No wonder Ronald and I don't measure up. Well, fine, I admit it. You're pretty damn good. Ronald, why you bring that guy up? Aw, thanks, but flattery will let you know her, mister. Oh, will you mind keeping tonight our little secret? I'm not sure what I'd say if, as you mentioned, everyone found I was breaking my own rules. Sure, just as long as you keep me a secret too. I'm not privy to specifics here, but it looks like they've worked things out. Yeah, just like kids being kids. Ronald, so at least the other brain cell in James's group. At least things have stalled down now. You mean the guy, that guy who was trying to cheat in the election? Percy shortly arrived on the scene, and the participants gave him their impressions of the game. Well, good work, everyone. Thank you for the rave reviews. I owe a special shout out to Ren. Without her, none of this would have been possible. I will think nothing of it. Thank you for having me. If you ever get an idea for some other game, do let me know. You got it. Thanks a bunch. Man, I never thought my online friend would be a high schooler. You're really something special. I mean, how the heck do you learn so much about the world at your age? I feel like you're gonna leave me behind if I'm not careful. I gotta branch out and level up my programming skills. Best of luck with that, pal. Gotta say, this was all pretty fun. So I'd be down to try whatever you come up with next. Thank you. I still have a lot of kinks to iron out for sure. But I might be able to go public soon. It's almost ready for average shows and Jane's, I think. Now, there's a little prize for you guys, since you got here first and all. Again, thank you so much for participating. Look forward to the next game. With the game wrapped up, Percy excused himself to mull over his feedback. And Ren and James snuck back into the hotel for the night.
That's a wrap.
Reward deposited. Institute of Science.
These grid issues are getting even worse. It's really starting to bug me. I took a look around the city just to make sure it wasn't some kind of wiring issue. Sure enough, it isn't. No fraying, no deformation, no nothing. Whatever the problem is, it's not something new parts would fix.
And follow the instructions of the
It's because Callaghan's hogging all the power. All the bandwidth.
What to do?
I was just wondering about you, Van. I think you got called out here to investigate all these events yourself. Those suspicious sightings did garner a lot of attention. Pretty much, yeah. You sound like you're well up on the issue yourself. Indeed, that's partly why I called Albus and Regina here. It could all just be a big load of nothing, but we can't set aside too many men for it, but better safe than sorry. I did want to ask for your opinion on all this, given you've had your fair share of run-ins with Almada yourself. Tell me about it. My take is, it's just too early to tell, not enough to go on here. I get that, thanks for your input. If anything does happen, please let us know. I've told the artists to cut you some slack at any rate. I don't exactly have the intuition for this yet, but even I can tell something isn't right here. With everything that's happened these last few months, we can't just write off leads and oddities anymore. I might have to loop back with Blanca and get our perspective on things. Basil's deceptively big is the thing. I like to set a quota of 10 cases a day just to maintain a steady pace. Man, you're really on top of things. Come to think of it, you used to be in the fire department, didn't you? I did. I learned some valuable skills on the job. They still come in handy today. It's a tough job. Basil's full of factories and other heavy industry. Fire hazards are abundant. Every second counts for those places. A moment's hesitation could mean a difference between saving a life and losing one. That's why I learned to be swift and decisive on the job. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of second guessing. I see. I'll bear it in mind. Blanca's just so skilled as a bracer, and she's a wonderful person too. I hope to be like her one day. I've got a long way to go before I compare to her.
So...
Did Elvis head off on patrol? Yeah, he went out earlier. Once he's done, I'll start my rounds. It's a shame he couldn't let you do your rounds first so you could hit the hay earlier. How inconsiderate. He'd have scored brownie points with you if he said ladies first. I guess? The whole city's been having these weird network issues lately. Our online ordering system is bugging out too. I was in a panic the first time it happened. I thought I'd messed up a line of code or something, and if I did, my sister would have had my head. Thankfully, it wasn't me, but it's still a problem. I'll have to see if I can reduce the server load at all. Maybe that'd help. As you can see, this place is popular with artisans once they're off the clock. They all come in looking exhausted. No wonder they need pick-me-ups for tomorrow. The previous owner would always take care of them really well. He always knew what they needed. I hope I'm doing the same for them. It's kind of a bummer I can't explore a city at night with you, because that sounds really cool. But I'll stay here and leave it to you guys. Let me know if you find anything, okay?
Truly well done. Then I'll update your rank.
Hey.
I'll gladly take that.
Nebulous Arts Driver. Hopefully the next boss is weak to time. Basil's home to many a skilled artisan, and that draws demand from all around the globe. But in some ways, we actually have too many. It can make picking the right one difficult, especially for the uninitiated client. That's where I come in. I act as a consultant to help clients pick the workshop that's right for them. It's funny, really. I used to be an engineer, but I hardly do any engineering myself anymore. Almost on today's deliveries. Looks like I'll be putting in overtime, though. A lot of late dinner orders today. Once I'm done with work, I can finally get my own dinner, and then it's off to bed to get ready for tomorrow. Lather, rinse, repeat, eh? Granny always cooks for me at the end of the day. I really appreciate it. She's such a good person, man. Well, I guess staying home and taking the job off isn't so bad. Lets me do what I want without a certain killjoy ripping down my neck. Might be nice to crack open the cold one downstairs. If you need me for anything, just give me a call. I guess it's a tough job, I really do. But damn it, what am I supposed to tell my bosses? It's their deadlines and production quotas we're working with. Oh, we've seen you around once or twice. You're that project owner, right? You've got it rough too, huh? You know, I'm thinking maybe we could bend a bit tonight. Maybe it'll be easier for you to talk about your stuff outside your usual crowd. You guys are... Yeah, look, I hate how I'm always forcing you to do this and stick to that. I hate telling you how to do your job. I don't want to make you bend over backward any more than you want to hear it. I can't say no to the higher-ups, you know that. What they say goes. Now we hear ya. It's not like we have free reign over our work either. I remember getting earphones from my supervisor all the time when I started out, always telling me to do this differently or do that better. We've all been there, but we don't hold it against you. You're just trying to put food on the table like everybody else. Bureaucracy is just part of the business. The bigger you try to be, the more it'll drag you down. You really mean it. I had you guys wrong this whole time. I'm sorry, man. You mind having a few more rounds with me? Sure thing, buddy. Nothing calms me down like a glass of the cold stuff. All the time I thought the artisans had a one-track mind, just stubborn old mules going on and on about their craft. But my bosses are the same, thinking about it. It's all profit margins and productivity quotas with them. This cafeteria is a bit on the noisy side, but then so is Basel. It's just to see, no? Maybe it's not so bad. And I can't complain when the beer tastes this good. It really does taste better when you're just drinking for yourself instead of having to schmooze with clients. And since my company's paying the tab, I can drink as much as I want. Guilt-free drinks are the best drinks. I love taking in the breeze here at night. Calms me down. I don't make a point of coming out here regularly, though. I just make the trip whenever my heart wants to. There's this professor at the Institute who comes by here, and I swear, he's always a step ahead of me. I sort of wander around a lot without really thinking about where I'm going, so how does he always know where I end up? A tracker?
The sky.
I was an artisan here up until about 10 years ago, and in that time I saw the whole world evolve around me. From big machines to tiny little orbments, life has changed a ton, for the better I'd say. We live a lot easier than we used to. But we fight harder too. Warships, railway guns, those sensor soldats. I worry that one of these days will make something truly terrible, something that will doom us all.
Alrighty.
Like the retributive tower? I see, so astronomy originated in the Central East. That it did. To our understanding, astronomy came westward in the Middle Ages as trade and cultural exchange began to blossom. The University of Elstein can trace itself back to that age too, and that cultural exchange gave rise to the natural sciences as well. I see, I've never had that much interest in hard sciences, but that's interesting to hear. It feels relatable, I guess, to hear that they were human inventions too. That's good to hear. If you're curious about anything else, I would be happy to help. Sister Paula seems very nervous when she first arrived, but I can see she's settling into her role well. I do plan to help teach her some more if and when I get a chance. I've never held much interest in the sciences, but they do seem more relatable to me now. Maybe it won't feel so foreign anymore when the congregation talks about them. I'm finally done for the day. Gonna grab a bite to eat and then veg out for the evening. The machinery I see these days is absolutely nuts. How do they manage it all? Transmitters, processors, storage devices, you name it. I've seen it. They've got it. I can feel myself getting older just looking at them. The world's moving too fast for me, I swear. Thanks for tuning in to this Let's Play of Trails Through Daybreak. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit the bell icon.